Yeah, it was. What the heck? Okay. There we go. Alright, so now I just need to adjust some of the settings here, because that's way too loud. There we go. Alright, so now I just need to adjust some of the settings here, because that's way too loud. Yeah, sorry you guys couldn't hear me at first. Apparently, the settings weren't quite right on it. Just working on some of the settings here. I feel like the music is a little too loud. I'm not sure how to adjust those settings. Let me see here. Still messing with it. I'm not sure why the settings are so weird, but maybe when this music goes out, it'll be a little bit better. Once we actually start a match, the music will go away. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Apparently not. There's like no... Wait, here. Settings. Audio. Let's just turn this down a little bit.
Your Majesty.
There we go. There, let's check that. See if that's a little better. There, let's check that. Yeah, there we go. How's that sound? It's like echoing because I'm like listening to myself real fast to just make sure it's set right. Alright, let me mute that again. That was weird. Okay. Now I need to turn it up in my headphones. Alright. And yeah, you couldn't hear me because I was trying to talk to you and my mic was muted. But yeah, it's fine that you missed some of my videos. I definitely understand when people, you know, can't watch all of them. It's all good. That's why YouTube videos are saved on there, so you can just go back and watch them whenever. Let me double check this real fast. So yeah, if you've never played Civilization before, it's basically a empire building game. So you start with just one little settler to make your first city, and then once you make your first city, you start building up from there. And there's going to be a bunch of other opponents in the game that are computer controlled. And basically, they're going to be trying to build up their empires as well. There's a bunch of different ways to win in the game. When I go in here to create this game, you'll be able to see. So there's all these different leaders you can pick from. Each has their own little abilities and whatnot. But you'll see here we have basically, what is it, 6 different ways? Yeah. You have 6 different ways to win. You can win with a cultural victory. You can win with a diplomatic, domination, religious, science, or score. Hey, Cat King, how you doing? So with cultural victory, it's all about just like getting tourists. So you're wanting to build stuff that bring in like tourists to your civilization. Diplomatic is really complicated, but basically it's well, it sounds complicated, but it's really like boring in a way. Religious victory is just spreading your religion to everybody and converting everybody to your religion. Science is all about establishing yourself like on Mars and on the moon and something else. But those ones are kind of a little bit more passive. So what we're going to do if we want to set this up to be a really long match is we can disable all these other ones and go for just domination. So domination victory is like military. So you can use your military to take over their cities. So basically a domination victory is taking over everybody else's capital. It is possible to just take their capital, but typically when I'm playing, I will try to take over all of their cities and completely eliminate them from the game. Because if you lose all of your cities, you're eliminated from the game. So, if we want to make this really long too, what we do, first we pick our map. I really like continents and islands. I feel like it's the one that's a bit most balanced. The one that most people play is called Pangea, and it's basically just one giant landmass. But that one gets a bit annoying just because everybody's bunched in on one island. But if you do like continents and islands, there's some like a couple big continents with some oceans and then a few like small islands scattered around. So it's a bit more balanced. And then for map size, we'll go huge, which is absolutely ridiculously big. I like to go abundant resources, so we don't have to struggle for resources at all. Let's see here. Keep all these the same. Victory conditions, we keep standard. Game options, so this is like your normal difficulty. I don't like playing on any other difficulties just because if you set it easier, then it's too easy. But if you start setting it harder, it's just that the AI just cheats, is all it is. It doesn't actually like affect anything other than that the AI gets like crazy bonuses, which is kind of not balanced. I know a lot of like pro players like to play on the hardest difficulty just to show off how awesome they are, but it's not nearly as fun that way. Oh, that's fine, Mario. I appreciate you being here. So we'll start in the ancient era, which is basically people walking around giant sticks and bonking each other on the heads with them. And then for game speed, we're going to go marathon. So the game is 200% slower. So yeah, everything takes way longer. Turn limit, put it no turn limit. No teams. And then these are basically mods that you can play with. I like playing with a few of these on, just because it spices it up a little bit. So all these that I turned on, the barbarians are a little bit work a little bit different. You can get some like heroes and stuff, which is kind of fun. Monopoly, secret societies, yeah. So if you've never played before, none of these will make sense, but that's fine. And then we jump in here. My favorite character to play as is Frederick here. I typically like to go for like a lot of production, so that way I can build stuff quickly. And I also like making a lot of money on here, just because then you can have a big military. The more money you're bringing in, or gold I guess it is, the more your military can get bigger in size, because military has an upkeep. So Frederick is really good for, with his Hansa, you get more production and stuff. And that goes really well with putting that right next to a commercial hub, which makes you money, as you'll see like later on in the game. Basically, it goes really well with how I play. So we go through here. This is one of the little tricks you can do. Hopefully this doesn't crash the game, but we're gonna add some more players into the game. I don't know how many. Oh my gosh! What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 AI. Holy crap. Yeah, so let's just double check, make sure we have everything set here. Map size huge, continents and islands, abundant resources, only domination victory, marathon speed. Alright, let's settle in for the long haul. So yeah, thanks for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it. It's been a while since I've streamed, so I kind of got to get back in the swing of things. This is going to be a good game to test whether or not my internet here can even stream this. My internet out here is a bit spotty, so if it ever cuts out, it's because my internet probably went out, or because the game crashed, because I, just set a bunch of crazy stuff on here. But yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to stream big, like, multiplayer type games, just because the internet might not be able to handle it. But games like this that aren't as labor intensive on your internet, I might be able to get away with. But I fully intend to, if I can't stream a game, to continue making videos, as you guys might have seen with like my Battlefield videos. That's kind of my intention, is if I can't stream a game, I'm at least going to make videos on it. Alright, let's see here. Well, that's not a good start. That's really not a good start. Okay. So, we got desert. I'm not going to cheat and restart just because I didn't get a great start, but desert typically doesn't have very good production, and it doesn't give you hardly any food, so definitely not the best start in the world. Now these trees right here will give us bonus production, so it might be best to actually settle off of these trees. Because if we settle on these trees right now, we'll end up... if we settle on these trees, it'll end up getting rid of the trees. But if we move over one, away from the trees, we won't get rid of the trees, and then we can use the trees to help our production. So, let's see, what do we have down here? We have more desert. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a gamble here. I'm gonna settle right here. Oh my gosh, so much desert. Okay, so there is a world wonder that you can build that increases all desert tiles in your city. So that might actually be one that's really gonna be useful for us to get. Holy crap, 30 turns. Oh my gosh. So I typically play this on normal speed, and on normal speed it's like, I don't know, like 12 turns, something like that, to research these first ones. So because we have sheep right here, it might be best to go ahead and do animal husbandry, which will allow us to farm these sheep. And then, oh my gosh, 36 turns. Whew, that's a long time. Typically, yeah, typically with my monuments, I can build them anywhere from 9 turns to like 15 turns, depending on how my initial city's production goes. So seeing that I'm at a 5, that's pretty average for production. Yeah, so 36 turns is quite a bit. So it's actually going to be, my thoughts is that it's going to be a bit more important to get military. Because from what I understand, and like I said, I'm no pro at this game, I just hobby play this a lot as just a fun, relaxing game. The military to take over a city is going to take the same amount of time, even though it's on a slower speed. It just takes a lot longer to produce things. So, I'm going to have to really be cautious about making sure I have military to protect my cities. Because they'll be able to take my city just as fast as they would on a faster speed. So that was a friendly village right there. If you land on the friendly villages, they'll give you different gifts and stuff. There's only so many of them on the map, but when you find them, they give you things to help you out. So they just boosted one of my technologies, and I found one of the secret societies. I don't typically use this one. The one that I use, I'm gonna have to find a world wonder for, or a natural wonder for, not a world wonder. So we'll keep kind of skipping our turns here. So this guy that's right here that you see running along, he is a barbarian. So those are just like random, basically they're just trolls is all they are. This guy's a scout. He'll just scout around. If he finds my city, he'll run back to where their camp is at, and they'll end up just sending hordes and hordes of people after me to try to kill me. So I have to keep an eye out for this guy. Yeah, see, just like that. So now he has that exclamation mark above his head. That means he's noticed my city. So now from here, what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to make it back to his camp, wherever their camp is at. And if they make it back, they're just going to start spawning enemy after enemy, and they're going to start sending it towards my city. And those barbarians will sometimes actually take your city. So if another civilization takes your city, a lot of times they'll just take your city, and they'll keep it for themselves. And then you can try to take it back. If a barbarian takes your city, they will just burn it to the ground. So there's a little bit of strategy in what I just did there. If I would have moved from here over to here to try to hit him, I wouldn't have had enough movement, so I wouldn't have been able to hit him. So what I did is I hid in these trees right here, and I waited for him to move, And now he's moved close enough that I can hit him once. So I'll come over here and attack him. It's not going to kill him, but it's at least going to do some damage. The problem with these scouts is they have more movement than what my warriors here have. So I'm not going to be able to keep up with them, so I'm going to have to use some, like, smarts in order to basically trap them. So the terrain also plays a factor in, like, how much you can move. So, like, these are flat right here, so you can move 2. But right here I can only move 1 because this is hills. So keeping that in mind, I can start to try to trap these people, and it takes all of your movement in order to go across the river, no matter how much movement you have. So if he was to go across this river right here, he would only be able to move 1. So I'm going to come over here. I think it's going to be really important for me to not get too far away from my my civilization here, especially with this scout running around. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my warrior heal for a second in here, since I'm already back in my city. You can heal your people outside of your city, but you get more health back per turn if you're inside of your city borders, which is these lines right here. So I'm just going to wait a second and see where he goes. Yeah, so he's just kind of crossing back and forth here. And you see my that plus 17, that was me getting my health back. So I'm just going to let him sit here for a second. I'm just kind of going to lay a trap for this guy and wait until the AI takes him close enough. Sometimes they're silly and they'll just keep doing this back and forth, which is fine with me because it gives me time to continue building stuff. Yeah, he might end up just trolling me by just running back and forth across this river, which is fine because that means he's not going and calling for help. Oh, geez. Now there's another one. Alright, so if he steps forward, I'll be able to attack him. It won't kill him, though. But then we're gonna really have to watch out here. Okay, he didn't see our city, so we're good so far. Especially in the early game, you have to skip a lot of turns. Just because you don't have a whole lot going on, you just have to continue building stuff up. So these first turns are gonna, not be very action-packed. But the further on you get, the more cities you start to get, the more stuff you have moving around. The turns start to take a little bit longer and are a lot more in-depth. Basically, right now, I'm just trying to keep an eye on this guy, make sure he doesn't get back to his people, while I'm trying to build up this monument. So what this monument is going to do, if you look up in the top left, you can see there's a blue square and like a purple square. The blue square is your science. The purple square is your culture. And so right now I'm making 1 culture, 1.2 actually. But when I finish making this monument, I'll end up getting 1 extra culture. So it'll basically almost double my culture, which is really nice to have right off the bat. And what those do is increases the speed of your research for the researches here, and your civic tree, which is this one right here. So it's basically your skill, how fast you level up your skill trees, would be a simple way of putting it. I know this isn't the most exciting right now. The beginning of this game, like I said, is a little bit slow, just trying to get set up. If we were playing on a more standard speed, it would be a little bit more action-packed, because we'd already had this built, and we'd be on to building different things. But because we're playing on such a long speed, because I just want to see how long it actually takes, we are going to have to sit here for a minute and kind of just wait things out. Because I know that if I step out of the city, this guy's going to do something silly and go running off, and then next thing I know, I'm going to have a billion barbarians just swarming down on my city, which I definitely do not want. So we just keep watching this guy run back and forth across this river. I have no problems with that. Oh, jeez. There's another one. Alright, so since he's right here... Can I actually attack him? I didn't realize I could attack him this entire time. Well, I guess it is because my city's here. So when your city is right next to a river, you can cross over the river with your city for free. So this whole time I could have been attacking him. Oh well. He would have ran off if I did, and it wouldn't quite killed him. But if I wait for 25 more turns, one of the first things that you get is actually that you'll do more damage to barbarians. So we took a little bit of damage there, so we'll just let him heal again. I'm trying to play this super careful because, like I said, oh jeez. All right, so now this guy's back again, but this time it's actually showing him have spotted my my city. So now we're gonna actually have to do something about it. Didn't quite kill him, which is a problem. So let's see where he runs off to. Alright, he went to there. I'm kind of borderline going to have to chase him, which is a problem, because I'm not going to be able to catch up with it. He might go... He might get stuck right here, actually, because these are hills. So depending on where he goes here... So I think their camp might be down here, because that's where they keep coming from. Well, he sure did make his way up there pretty quick. It's a bit of a guessing game sometimes. I guess we'll know when a bunch of barbarians come flooding into our map that it was up here. Trying to use these hills to our advantage, because they're gonna have a hard time getting over these hills. Also, the hills allow you to see a little bit further, so as you scout around, you'll be able to start to see more and more of the map. And when you're standing on top of hills, your vision's a little bit further.
I'm fond of pigs.
All right, so we just finished our first research there. So now we can actually farm these sheep, but you'll see we actually have horses here too, which is really nice. Horses give some pretty good production in food, and they're you need them in order to make like horsemen and stuff like that. So that was a nice little find there. And one of the mods that I turned on is actually randomized the skill tree, so you can't actually see what's in the skill tree. You have to just kind of, as you unlock it, you'll be able to see it. So with this being a domination focused one, I'm not going to be super focused on getting a religion right now. So let's go ahead. Usually the best bet is to do these first three first, because then you start to get these like boosts. You can boost these and take less time by doing certain things. Like for instance, right here, I killed 3 barbarians. It says I killed 3 barbarians, but I definitely have it. I got that from that tribe. But you can't boost these ones. So these first 3 you can't boost. So usually it's worth going ahead and finishing those ones first, just because you can't boost them. Alright, this guy just went right here, which means I can attack him again. Okay. Alright, we have a promotion available, so that's going to help. Your units get experience points as you fight different things. And when they level up, they get different perks. So they have a skill tree here. So you can see like all the way down the skill tree and whatnot. But right now, having this +7 combat strength versus melee and ranged units is going to be really helpful, because we're going to do a lot more damage. So now if this guy comes back across here again, I mean, he's already almost dead, so we would be able to kill him. But yeah, so we'll be able to kill this guy. There we go. All right, so that guy is out of here. Now we just got to track down that other one. And we're gonna do a little bit more damage each time now too. So let's go see if we can figure out where this guy went. And in the meantime, this will allow us to start to scout and see if we can find a place that we can build our next city. With how many players there are in this match, I would imagine it's not going to be very far before we find another player too. Okay, here's this guy. He's just chilling over here for some reason. Barbarians, for whatever reason in this game, don't heal like you can. So one of the benefits is to be able to actually heal up and continue fighting these guys. So this right here, this is not another actual player. This is what's called a city-state. So these things are like independent cities that provide you with different bonuses. So if we come over here, you'll be able to see this is Muscat, and you get envoys throughout the game. It's kind of a complicated thing, but basically you get these envoys. You send the envoys here, and you start to get bonuses from each one. And then if you have the most envoys in the city, which you can see somebody else has 3 already in here, you get whatever the bonus is unique to that city. So this one would give +1 amenity and cities with a commercial hub. So that'd be kind of nice. Amenities are kind of like your stuff to keep your people happy. So let's see here. Oh geez. So settler is going to take 48 turns, but we need 2 population. So I think our best bet here is going to be to get a slinger. A slinger is a ranged unit with a little slingshot. They throw rocks at people. With a warrior, whenever you attack somebody, or any kind of melee unit, when you attack somebody, you take damage back as well. With ranged units, because they're hitting them from a range, they don't get hit back. Oh, I just cornered this guy. Nice. And we just found a new continent, so that just boosted one of our tech trees. He's gonna get stuck right here. He's not gonna be able to move again. Yep. All right. There we go. All right, so we kept ourselves from getting swarmed by barbarians. Which, at some point during this playthrough, you will see what happens when you get swarmed, because I'm not always going to be able to, like, stop them from doing that. And it's not pleasant. They will literally just keep coming at you. Right now, it's not as big of a deal, because a lot of times the barbarians aren't smart enough to actually attack your city. What they typically will do is when you make an improvement, say, like, when I make a farm with, like, or, like, a stables with these horses, they'll come in and just pillage them. So then they just light everything on fire, and it doesn't give me my production anymore, and I have to come back through and fix it. It's really annoying. They also will steal, if you have builders, they'll steal your builders, and they will steal your settlers, which is actually the worst. So settlers are how you make another city. They typically take a while to make, so losing one of those is horrible. All right, let's see here. So this is actually pretty decent. So early empire right here, right off the bat, will be nice to have, because this will give us, we can use this policy card right here to get +50 production towards settlers, which means we'll be able to make settlers way faster. And we also will have this right here, which is to basically make it to where people can't come into our borders. So right now, like, if another enemy civilization came along, they could just walk right into our city without any issues. But once we unlock this research, what's going to happen is for them to actually step into our borders, they either have to ask us for permission, or they're going to have to declare war on us. So they can't just, like, walk straight in without, you know, any kind of issues whatsoever. But that's what the dotted lines mean. You can see, like, the dotted lines here. once we research this, all of these lines will become solid. That's how you can tell. Like up here, these lines are dotted as well. This game is fairly complicated. Hopefully you guys are learning something as you're watching it. It is a complicated game. There's a lot to learn, but you know, it starts to make a little bit more sense the more you play it. The first time I played this game, I had no clue what I was doing. I played it basically blind, just like, all right, I'm gonna play it and try to figure it out as I go. And yeah, I lost pretty badly because I had no clue what I was doing. Even though I have played Civilization building games in the past. Ooh. Sorry about that. Choking on my water a little bit. Alright. So, let's pull up our lens here. We can check. So this is for building another city, since we are going to want to do that here somewhat soon. So, anywhere in the red you can't build, because you can't build too close to another city. Anywhere with like this light green, you can see the key up there in the top right. It means it's got coastal water, so it's not fresh water. It only gives you +1 housing. But building next to a river right here, where this is like the bright green, or darker green, it'll give you +3 housing, which is important right off the bat, because your cities will kind of reach a population cap where they won't be able to go any higher. And there are districts in the game, basically, is what they are, which specialize in different things, like building a science district that allows you to build like research places and whatnot, which, you know, helps your science, and like cultural places. But you can only build so many districts based on how many people you have in your city. So you need your cities to be bigger in order for your city to build more districts. So, you know, you need to make sure you have plenty of food, and you need to make sure you have plenty of housing. But at the beginning, there is no way to make more housing. Like, no direct way, anyways. You can make farms and stuff like that, which give you a tiny little bit of housing, but it's not a bunch. Later on, you'll be able to build like neighborhoods and stuff, which actually like really boost how many people you can have. But right off the bat, things are pretty tough in this game. Oh. So this is going to be another city-state. And what I'm seeing right here, to somebody who's never played this game before, this would not make any difference right here. But what I'm seeing is a little bit of snow. And what that tells me is that I'm at the bottom of the map. Which, you know, you can use that a lot of times to figure out where you want to go. So, if I start to come down in here any further, I'll start to see the, this is probably going to be Arctic. Yeah, see how it's, you can hear the sound changed? So, down here at the bottom of the map and at the top of the map is always Arctic. It's always super cold. There are some benefits to it, but mostly negatives. Typically, you don't want to start off by starting in the Arctic, but eventually you will want to have access to it, because you can find uranium, which is, you know, for making nukes and stuff, and also for powering some like late game stuff. And a lot of times you find oil down here as well. So I'm going to have to be careful with my warrior here. I don't want to keep him here more than one turn, because this is a volcano, and it could possibly erupt at any time. This right here is another city-state, too. You can tell what type of city-state they are based on what color they are. This one's a white one, which means it's a religious city-state, so really it's not going to be very important for us. Alright, so this is the ocean right here, so... That's actually not bad. That actually could potentially be used. Because although it's Arctic, there is some like trees and truffles down here. Alright, looks like our slinger's finally made. Let's see here. Let's kind of scout this way. I'm guessing this is the coast, just kind of following along here. So I'm guessing I'll find more water right over here, or like the ocean. Yeah. So gonna say I'm gonna guess that the ocean is just right there. All right, let's start to get a settler going. It's gonna take like 34 turns. But these are important to start to try to get. We need to start to try to block off some space. Okay, Mario. I'm glad you're still in here. Hopefully you're enjoying this game. I definitely intend on keeping on playing it. There has been kind of a lack of new games coming out recently, so, I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot for me to try to stream. I was kind of cautious about playing this game on the channel just because I wasn't sure if people were actually going to be interested in it or not. I know a lot of people, especially nowadays, don't like these kind of games. I know they're not like your super fast-paced, like, first-person shooter games, but there is just something fun about playing these type of games sometimes. Okay, so, actually, there it is. So if you look on the very bottom of the screen, you can see, like, the black and white lines there. That's the very bottom of the map. And you can see that this ice is, like, broken up right here. Once you've played this game a couple times, you start to realize that, like, this is all the bottom of the map. So I know that I probably have a decent amount that I could explore up, knowing how big these maps are. So that kind of gives you an idea of, like, which way you need to start to try to go. But the thing is, these maps are randomized a bit. So, and by a bit, I mean a lot. So you really never know what you're going to get. When you pick the map type, it kind of dictates like what the general idea of the map is going to be, but you never know for sure exactly what it's going to be like. There is a mode that you can play where it's just called Shuffle, and it completely randomizes what the map's going to be. It's kind of wild sometimes. You'll get literally like one piece of land, like one of these tiles just in the middle of the ocean somewhere, and that'll be what you start on. Clearly, that's not ideal. I have made cities like that before, though, in the past, where it was literally one piece of land in the middle of the ocean. I have made cities like that mostly as, like, outposts, because later on with, like, planes and stuff, the planes can only fly so far, and if you put, like, an outpost out in the middle of the ocean somewhere, your plane can land at the outpost and then continue on from there.
When you find yourself in a hole, quit digging.
There we go. So our next research has been finished. So now we can do like mining and stuff. Which mining would be like these rocks here. You could set up a mine on top of these rocks. You'll be able to find like metal and stuff later.
But as I headed into the heart
nice.
of New Zealand's Fjordland, that same childlike feel.
Yes. Okay. So this is the secret society that I like using. That's a really good find. So what this is right here, this is a natural wonder. So typically these are actual like places in the world that people like to go visit and whatnot. And each one of these natural wonders will give a special bonus. So like this one is giving extra culture and gold to adjacent tiles. So if we look here, this wheat, like for instance, if we come up here and look at this wheat only gives 1 production and 2 food. But this one, because it's right next to this this special thing, actually gives 1 production, 2 food, but then it also gives 1 culture and 1 gold. So that really starts to help you out, and it does that for all of these tiles as well. So settling down here will actually be really smart, which is actually pretty good because it's close to our city. So I might be able to settle like on this lake. Maybe down here. 2, 3. Your city can go out 3. So it might actually make sense to like go down in here somewhere. Because I will want access to the ocean so I can explore into the ocean later. But the secret societies is like a special thing in this game. Each one of these societies, you can only pick one to join. And they have like special abilities that really help you out. I personally prefer this one. So we're going to appoint these guys. So what this does is this unlocks what's called ley lines, and the ley lines give bonuses to your districts. You haven't seen me build any districts yet, but basically the districts, when you place them down, you can make the districts stronger by placing them next to certain things. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. So when you get two of these next to each other like this, if you were to put something right here, it's next to both of them. So that's going to get a huge bonus. So that's awesome. We also have one right here, which is really good because if we were to put a academy right here, it'll get a bonus from this mountain, and from this ley line. So that would be +4, which is actually really good. We also have one down here. So this is actually a pretty good roll. It's sometimes hit or miss with these things. So you never know what you're going to get. There's been some times where I didn't get like any. There's been some times where I had like a crap ton. This is kind of like a standard roll, basically. So let's kind of go around here. But yeah, we'll definitely have to keep in mind coming down here and settling near this. And then, yeah, we're going to really have to work those. The only downside here that I'm seeing, and I just realized it, you can only work 3 out from your city. 1, 2, 3. So I didn't quite reach the ocean here. 1, 2, 3, and then it's going to go up like that. See, I won't quite be able to reach the ocean, so I will need to put like another city up in here if I really want to take advantage of that. All right, Mario, I really appreciate you being here today. I'll be streaming this for a good amount today, and I might end up streaming it again tomorrow, so we'll see how things go. But yeah, no, it's no problem. The stream will be up on the channel, once it's finished and everything, so you can always go back and watch it if you'd like. Otherwise, I'll be streaming it again, so like I said, thanks for stopping in. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day or great afternoon, whatever time it is there. So we just kind of need to keep scouting around here a little bit. Kind of want to scout up here and see what we have. I am kind of shocked that we haven't ran into anybody yet because there are so many players. So many players. Thank you. I really appreciate that. All right, so I'm gonna send my warrior this way, and I'm gonna send my slinger up here. I need to start taking up this space though, because if I don't take up this space, a stinking barbarian camp is gonna pop up. I'm just waiting on it to happen. But I'm guessing that there's a person over in here somewhere. Haven't seen them yet, but I would have to assume that there's somebody there. I guess they could be up here too. Nope. There's just ocean up there. Alright, this is actually looking pretty good so far. Don't have anybody immediately nearby, which is nice. Right off the bat, you don't necessarily want somebody right next to you. Alright. Let's see here. Oh, there's a person.
Pensi ați vengut să
Oh,
raccolgere
jeez.
nu.
It's
Tesa
this
da
girl.
Titania.
Alright, so she's inviting us in to see her city. Okay. So she can be rather hit or miss sometimes. Sometimes she's super bloodthirsty, sometimes she just takes your cities passively. So... actually, there's another person right here. You can see hers are pink and white, and these ones are pink and green. So there's actually two people right here. So, my best bet would actually be to try to block off over in here first before I settle over here, because that'll keep people from being able to push this direction. So my second city should probably be over in this area. And we'll try to get our slinger over here just to kind of keep an eye out. Ah, dang it, I got too close. Okay, this guy is 100% going to try to attack us. And this is actually not his first city. On the far left, that white dot will actually be a star. You can see it on her city, if it's their capital. So this isn't even his capital. And this girl being like she is already taking his city. But she's doing it passively with the loyalty system, which is kind of complex, but basically it has to do with how happy your people are and how close they've settled to other players and how happy those other players are. That's like her specialty, is taking over people's cities passively. She gets a lot more dangerous with it later on, too. When she starts getting great works of art and writing and all that. She will literally start taking your cities, like, one after the other super quickly if you're not careful. So how many turns do we have before this? Yeah, she's gonna take that city in 11 turns. Which in 11 turns we're gonna have have our settler here. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna put my slinger right here, so that way I can basically see if anybody ends up coming this direction, because they're gonna have to come through these mountain passes in order to get to me. So I'm just gonna have my slinger defend right there for now. We are 78 turns in, and I haven't even made a second city yet. Ooh, this is a science city-state. That's going to be really important to get. I am big into science rushing, so getting as much science as I possibly can. Who do we have here? Hattusa. 2 of each strategic resource you have revealed but not improved. So that one's not too great, but not terrible either.
I thought Clay must feel.
Okay, so we finished our first set of researches here. Let's see. Definitely want to prioritize that. With this speed, I feel like it's gonna multiply how well you're doing with the other things. So like, the more production I have, it's just gonna make that much more of a difference. Oh geez, look at all that marble. That would be great for culture.
Look back over the past.
Alright, we're not... I don't think we're quite ready for a settler yet. To switch this over to settlers. We will go ahead and do that, though. I would like to get my Pantheon first, which, if you've never played this game before, you don't know what that means, but it's essentially another little bonus that you can get, but I need to build up enough faith first. Currently, I'm getting 1 faith per turn, so it shouldn't be too much longer before I get it, I would hope, but we'll see. Political philosophy will be a very important one to get. Let's see here. I don't think we necessarily need this one quite yet. This craftsmanship one will help us build more military units, though. So let's get craftsmanship going. And then we have 1 governor title now, so we can come down here. I like to use this guy. Just gives me more science and culture. There's a barbarian there, apparently. Yeah. So this must be where his other city is at. Yeah, it's right there. Does he have an archer in there? Okay, yeah, he does. I was gonna say, I was hoping he didn't have walls already. Oh, geez. Okay. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to necessarily outrun these barbarians, but we can draw them over here so he'll keep shooting them with his archers. Or he'll just run away again. Okay, cool. Thanks, guy. Appreciate your help. They didn't even attack me. Oh, there's another city-state there. Okay. So I was right in my assumption here. I kind of assumed that I would be able to build in here without losing it, so that those minuses are the loyalty system. So I just want to make sure that I am not losing loyalty. It's probably going to be best to go right here. It's going to be on hills, which is going to give me a little bit more production. It's in between a bunch of mountains, and the mountains usually give me bonuses towards a bunch of different things. I'll definitely want to try to build Machu Picchu if I can, because I have a bunch of mountains here. So yeah, we'll send the settler this way. A lot of times you